Ooh, what we got here? Excellent condition. Excellent. Oh, come on, man. There we go. What's going on, John?
Not much, buddy. How's life with you?
Well, as Frank once said, been a pimp, pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn, and a king. I'm not real sure where I am now. We'll go with king. Just fuck it. There's been kings in worse condition than me.
For sure. For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot has went on. Like you know, I've kind of intentionally not said much to you lately because I wanted to leave shit open. We talk about things off the podcast, and then it's been talked about, and we lose it.
Right. Right. There's a lot going on since the last time we talked, though.
Oh gosh.
Like, I mean, you know,
Nobody takes it serious, but I see what's going on, and I'm taking it serious. I mean, man's up for impeachment. Where it'll go, but...
Talking about Biden?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, they don't want to impeach him. Because they already know it. With a Republican House, they already control Joe Biden's agenda. Because nothing's going to get through the House, let alone be pushed on the Senate. It's never going to get through the House.
Right.
The same way the House did with Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump had the House majority the first 2 years. That's when he pushed through the tax reforms and shit like that.
Yeah.
The second 2 years, he didn't get shit done. He spent the last 2 years in court.
We don't want Kamala in charge anyway.
Exactly. Joe Biden's easy to control right now. Because he has no power. He can't get anything through Senate.
I like how, you know, dude, so, the submarine.
Hold on, before you get off that subject, though, let's switch up. Let's stay on this subject for just a minute.
All right.
Because I don't care, like, we tried the last couple of weeks before we went camping, we tried to stay away from the politics.
Yeah.
But I want to make something really clear right now. I don't care how guilty Donald Trump is with the classified documents. I don't care how it is. When you fucking indict the leading candidate against you, while at the same time saying that you're going to have no DNC debates, this is not an election that I can get behind.
Oh, not.
Like, I'm like leaning 80% right now. I'm not even going to vote. It's not going to do any good. It's not going to be worth it. If Joe Biden can announce 2 years before our election that he's not going to have debates, this election's already bought and paid for.
And nobody's debating.
No,
Nobody's debating.
Republicans will have a debate.
Oh, yeah, but like you know,
they've already announced
the thing with RFK and the other guy. Like, they're offering like millions of dollars for them to get together and debate. No.
RFK said there will be a debate.
If he's the only one there.
He's the only one. And bro, let me be real, like, you know what? If it's RFK and fucking Mike Pence, I'll vote Democrat this election. You best believe it. RFK is not a Democrat. He's more of a middle of the road. Let me question every fucking thing.
He is a Democrat. He's not a progressive. He's not a liberal. He's not an agenda-driven.
Centrist.
He's not.
He's like Joe Manchin, right down the middle.
He's a Democrat, Donald Trump. He's not part of the. He's not part of the engine.
He's not in that circle.
Yeah. And it's, you know. Have you seen where Kodak Black?
So I was gonna say, now we can get off that subject.
Kodak Black is all up in arms because apparently Kodak Black, the rapper, just recently took a gun charge, just like Hunter Biden.
Yeah, 3 years in prison.
3 years in prison. You know what? It's not white. It's rich.
It's so
not white
much.
people. It's rich people.
Now, Now, it used to be white people.
Yeah, we're all just born. I say all the time, every time somebody says something about racism, I'm like, you're going to keep screaming racism till we're starving to death on the same train car.
Oh, dude, that's all that's part of their agenda. That's part of their agenda. You're either rich, elite, or you're poor. There is no middle class.
No, not middle class.
There was a stat that I read the other day. 2,700 billionaires in this country alone. 2,700 billionaires in this country alone own $3.4 trillion worth of wealth. That, not assets. That's money, like cash money that they have invested or however they invest that kind of money.
Right.
3-point-some trillion dollars. All the rest of us, this is including millionaires. All the rest of us own 1.1 trillion.
Right.
Not right. No. So let's do the math real quick, Justin. Let that sink in for just a minute. 330 million people in this country?
Yeah.
2,700 people own all the fucking wealth. That's just in this country. It's probably the same way in every other fucking
And we're
country.
all going to go to work tomorrow, and we're all going to make...
And
There was this big thing at one point, July 1st, everybody was going to, like, stop paying all their bills, stop going to work. It disappeared, but there was this little...
doing that shit.
There was this little ripple at one point where people... Well, it wasn't going to be permanent. It was just going to be like a
One day, like a blackout or...
No, like I think like 3 months. We're not going to pay any of our bills for 3 months. Let's all push our bills to shut off notices. Nobody pays shit.
That's the same thing with...
You know?
This country cannot be unified by shit.
But what,
I'm on TikTok a lot.
right.
I feel like you have more freedom of speech on TikTok than you do on Facebook or Twitter or any of them.
Yeah, I'm about to switch over to
And that's
TikTok.
sad because the Chinese company owns TikTok and you have more freedom of speech from a communist country. That's saying something. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
The
because
Chinese want us to have as much freedom of speech as we can on our soil because that seeds division. Like, that's what their whole plan is.
Right.
I'm not stupid.
Yuri knew what he was talking
But
about.
it allows you and I to exchange information and exchange ideas no matter how far-fetched they are without being censored.
Right.
Regardless of what they're trying to do, I don't think they're having that intended effect.
Right.
This country was already heavily divided. You know, I mean, the freedom of speech that TikTok provides is bringing together a lot of people. It's the same concept, like I was saying, when I'm on TikTok a lot, and I hear all these truck drivers. Enjoy your toilet paper, enjoy, it's all brought by truck. If we quit driving, you won't have shit. And I get on there instantly. You might have a point. You might have a valid point, dude. If the truck drivers can unify and stop driving for 2 days, you shut this country down. You might have a point. But we both know you can't get 10 truckers to unify, let alone 100 or 1,000 or enough truckers to create any kind of...
But Canada did.
Canada definitely did.
Canada shut that shit down. You like unified. I don't know. You know what? I will say this: the trucker community ain't like other communities.
Yeah, they are. They hate on each other just like they do.
They do, but you really piss off the trucker community, they will park. If you piss off the trucker union, you remember what they did at Rigotti.
That's just a Teamsters union, though. The Teamsters union is a whole nother thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not talking about Teamsters union.
You know, nothing is what it
Because
used
the
to be.
Teamsters union, you don't have to like it. If you're in a union, they say you go fucking strike, you go fucking strike.
Yeah, because it beats getting your ass kicked. Because
You don't have no say in it.
They will still physically.
I'm talking about unaffiliated truck drivers. These motherfuckers have bills just like we do. They need their miles to pay those bills. They're not unifying with you over some dumbass fucking cause.
No.
It's funny how people say that all you need to do is unify. You're right. All we need to do as a people is unify. And this government doesn't stand a chance. But we
Right.
can't even do that. We can't even do that.
No, we can't. No, this country, we're not, you know, I keep saying that every time you say there's a gun behind every blade of grass. No. No.
I mean, there is technically here. I mean, there's like 400 million weapons in this country.
There are. There's 400 million weapons. There's 3.6 billion people. Well, there's like 1 billion people.
No, it's not that high.
It's not.
300 million.
300 million?
330 million in this country. That's everybody.
And there's like 200 million, 500,000 complete fucking pansies and people that are going to be at work and just working for their pensions. There's not a gun behind every blade of grass.
Yeah, but you can say, if you really find the numbers and you find out how many, we can look it up.
Well, I'm just saying,
Like,
you know,
how many armed citizens there are. That counts all of your pansies, as you call them. That takes all your children out of the equation.
No, not really. I know a guy in a wheelchair that owns 14 ARs.
Yeah, but I guarantee you he's fucking deadly accurate with them, even sitting in that fucking wheelchair. he ain't no pansy.
but
He's far from a pansy.
It's
That motherfucker
true.
will shoot your ass.
That's true, but
You don't own that many weapons if you ain't afraid to shoot them.
these guys aren't standing still. They're coming at you. Like, I mean, he'll take some down, but in a long-term combat scenario, you know.
How many armed citizens are in the United States of America?
According to CNN, there are about 393 million privately owned firearms in the U.S., according to an estimate by the Switzerland-based Small Arms Service.
393 million. But I mean,
393 million firearms.
yeah.
Are you ready for this? 300. Listen to the numbers. I want you to listen to the numbers, Justin. 393 million firearms are owned in the U.S. by 72 million people.
72 million people.
Every one of those 72 million average about 5 guns a per person.
That's what an average person owns. I saw this
72
meme one day.
million.
I saw this meme one day, and it said, how many guns do you own? And the guy was like, I think the number was, he said 5. And he said, that sounds like an extremist. And he was like, no, extremists own like 30, you know? And he goes, well, that sounds like 30, so that sounds like a collector. He's like, no, not 30. Collectors own like
Thousands.
1,000. Yeah, like, you know, like, you know, it kept going up. You know? I'm just normal.
I feel it.
We went out to the property that I'm moving to move. There's this, you know, the tarp they lay down before they put the highway gravel down, and then they work on top of that.
Yeah.
Okay, big piece of that same tarp goes all the way across the back hillside. And we went over. He wants to keep it, so we went over yesterday to pull it off the hillside. So I took a couple rifles with me because I knew we were going to find some snakes.
For sure.
That was going to happen. So we start pulling that tarp back. We killed 3 copperheads yesterday. Killed 3. But I mean, I took 3 guns just for that day. But
Right.
no, I mean.
But anyway, we kind of got off.
Oh yeah, but anyway. Okay.
We got off on a tangent there because we started talking about Hunter Biden.
Yeah, I was going to say though, like
How he got off scot-free with that shit. He's not going to
Yeah.
serve a day in jail.
not a day.
Not a day.
I think they're waiting to hang him up though, because I'm listening to what Comer's talking about, and I'm listening to not what Gates is saying on the floor, but like what he's saying on news channels, like what they have on the Biden family right now, and it's building. And the thing is we've quit talking about Hunter's laptop, but Hunter's laptop is backing up everything they're finding. Like, I was listening to, I think it was Epoch the other day, Epoch Times, and he's like, so, here's a $10 million wire transfer from China, and on the same date, Hunter Biden emailed his dad about getting paid. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be. They're still putting it together. The Durham report. Man, John Durham been tearing them
I
up.
watched like the first 45 minutes of
Okay,
that.
so fast
Where
forward
he was
it
testifying to the House.
and just skip all the Democrats, because all the Democrats do is try to downplay it. They don't have any questions about their questions are about his relationship with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's all they talk about. Fast forward through the Democrats. I think there were 2 or 3 Democrats that actually asked a valid question. There was one. Who was it? One of them asked a question, and I feel like he shouldn't have asked it, because the look on his face when it got answered was like,
Oh, it was Adam Schiff.
yeah. Yeah.
Adam Schiff was like, so you're telling me it's normal for a national, well, not a national threat, but a foreign ally to call the president's son or something like that, and Robert or John Durham was like, you should know all about that. With his fake ass whistleblower, no one's still don't even know.
No
who you
evidence
are.
whatsoever. We've been waiting
So you
for
should
that.
know all about that.
He has seen indisputable, irrefutable evidence, and we are still waiting to see it.
And you're not going to see
You're
it.
not gonna
That's
see
why the
it.
House censored his ass.
No, they didn't end. Yeah.
That's why the House censored his ass. And as soon as they bring that up, as soon as they bring that forward, and they find him guilty of misleading the American public, they're going to strip him of all his committee assignments.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
Good for them.
who was it? It was somebody important the other day. I've been kind of stressed out. My who's who is kind of messed up, but like said, he used the word Nuremberg trials. He said the only way we straighten this out and the FBI out and all that is by a Nuremberg 2023. That's it. We have to start from scratch. And it was a senator. He was like, we can't. He was like, we don't know who to trust. We don't know who's who.
One thing that I have learned, though,
Graham.
completely off subject, real quick, keep that spot, real quick. One thing I have noticed, watching these committees, watching these testimony, watching the stuff that I watch, it has become painfully obvious to me that the people that we elect to go to Washington, D.C. and represent us and make these laws, and they are not the sharpest bowling ball on the rack.
These people are idiots.
Some of these motherfuckers are damn near idiots. Like, how educated are you? Because, holy shit, the way some of them speak,
And I mean, dude,
and it's like they're rambling I don't know, man.
and it's not even that. Oh my God. Fetterman introduced some
Oh my God.
Like,
I swear I was having a fucking seizure listening to that shit. I was felt like this kind of doing the...
I thought it was the beginning of a movie. Like this has to be like, you know, what is this? Like,
the fuck's going on?
Dude, are they both going to short circuit at the same time?
And he tried to say infrastructure like 4 times. And he was like, infrastructure. And we're here to help rebuild it for sure.
Dude.
Even Joe Biden was looking at him like, bro. You know, that's something.
You don't say shit.
Joe Biden's probably like, dude, somebody get this guy.
I don't do that, do I?
No, sir.
Oh my gosh. I mean, even on our side, even the people that are on our side, like Matt Gaetz looks like fucking Family Guy drew him.
At least he speaks clearly.
He does.
He's
He
not
does.
the smartest guy in the bunch. But
He does, but if they want to make fun of him in a cartoon, it's gonna be so easy.
There's Martha Taylor Greene's another one.
Yeah,
She's easy to make fun of.
she is. But dude, she's
Is
the.
what it is. You know,
I feel like they paint them in that light for us because they are the game changers.
I think it's
like, they
all
really-
just a show. Man.
They are. Yeah, I feel that way too.
Yeah,
But
I mean-
my faith tries to be deeper and be like, you know, these are the people that are. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, dude, I'm almost ready. Like, I can't say I have a way to do it yet, but I'm almost done working on the books. I don't really want to pay taxes anymore. This
Well,
government
I don't
is
want to
a
be
joke.
part of this anymore.
I don't want to be a part of it. I just want to find me a 3 acres in the woods, and I'm gonna live in my tent for a summer while I build something. I don't want any part of this. I just don't.
Right. I feel you.
But I've been working for 25 fucking years. It feels natural. You know what I mean?
You can't
It's hard to
find nothing,
separate
man.
myself.
And I mean, dude, they've made it impossible to do that. I mean, shit. You can't really.
Yeah, even if you bought your land right out front, you still have to pay taxes on it every year. So you still have to come up with a couple $1,000s.
You could really fuck them up. You could go live on national forest land. As long as you move every 7 days, it's legal.
Fuck all that shit.
I mean, really, move to Ohio, get a P.O. box, go live in the national forest year round, collect welfare. Well, Ohio's got a great welfare system. Use your rent payment for hotel rooms occasionally to.
Hell yeah.
You know what? I was watching a girl the other day on YouTube. She lived in a bus. She travels around. She works at jobs for a while, saves up a little bit of money, and then she goes on to the next place. And and I was like, if I would have had YouTube as a teenager,
Yeah, that's a smart thing to do. Just go to this town, work for a month,
go to that
save your
town,
money up, live in your bus, take off to the next one.
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. And when I was a kid, they told us that, you can be homeless living in a van by the river. Now that sounds like a really good plan.
Yeah.
Like, it's at least I'm away from all
It
these.
feels
careers.
natural. It sounds natural.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. What they've told me my whole life is to grow up, get a real job. It's all bullshit. It's all fake.
Yeah.
Like, that's bullshit. That's what they want you to do. They want you to pay taxes and be a good little boy and girl.
Well, here's where they fucked up.
They want you to be in debt.
They
So you
raised
have to
us.
go work.
They raised us in a system that builds the perfect factory workers. That's what they did.
Yeah.
And then we turned 18, and bam, NAFTA.
Right. Pretty much.
There are no factories. We're not trained for this.
Yep.
Everything, and everything that we grew up, and I mean, expecting, like everything that we grew up and preparing ourselves for in the world we were about to go into, everything we were taught in school by our parents on television and TV shows, everything just, that world did not exist as of the time we turned 19. It was no longer there. NAFTA took all the factories away. I mean, fuck. I mean, there's just like the job market in America.
Yeah, you got to remember that was 1996.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Well,
NAFTA kind of took away all the factory
2000,
jobs.
2000. I was in the Navy when NAFTA hit hard. Well,
That's what I'm saying. Because 2000 was your fucking internet boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right before that was the NAFTA. But yeah, I remember that shit. And then, 2001 or 2002, the dot-com bubble burst. We went into that little recession or whatever it was. And then right after that, what do you know? World Trade Center. Oh, no.
Well, dude, Alex Jones was on the Patrick Beck.
Yeah, I watched that.
That was good.
I watched that. He was very held back in reserve, but he's still same old Alex Jones.
Yeah, very held back in reserve.
So since you brought that up, what we were gonna bring it up a moment ago, and we stayed on the politics subject. What's up with the sub, bro? Because I got some juicy stuff for you.
Well, okay. So let's start at the top. First off, I mourn the loss of all human life. But we're gonna discuss this candidly, because when a bunch of rich guys climb into an experimental ship and ascend, that's their, or descend, that's their business. So you signed enough waivers. Look, that man told you might die more times than General Patton warned his guys before they went. Like, you might die, okay. You might die, okay. You might die, okay. Like, I mean, that's literally like, I seen the waiver, One of the employees put the waiver on the internet.
17 times in the first 2 pages. That is
When
that
you go into combat, you
don't
get
die.
one. You might not come back from this. That's just 17 times. So, but anyway, I digress. Because I spent all morning watching the most fantastic Titanic documentary. And it was the most up close and personal Titanic documentary ever done. And it was done from the Titan submersible. That was the Titan 1 trip. Titan 2 trip explored the back half and was actually even looking for the safe. Titan 3 trip.
These are unmanned submersibles.
No, this is the same submersible exactly. Okay. This same tuna can. Titan 3's trip, which was the same submersible, went down with a YouTuber on it. And he was like, oh, I was concerned about it and blah, blah, blah. Titan 4 trip didn't go to the Titanic. It went somewhere else. This was the Titan 5 trip. This thing was not, I mean, look, I'm sorry. I take back what I said when I first heard about this stuff. This thing was not fully experimental. I mean, it might not be up to NASA or government pars, or some people might think there were some things wrong with it, but this is the 5th time that this thing went down to the Titanic or down to crushed depths. So it was a faith-worthy structure.
Well,
so what happened?
They said the structure was engineered by Boeing. The main structure. I have no issues thinking that that structure wasn't sound.
So what happened?
If you put the Boeing on it.
Did you go down too fast?
No. Probably not.
Okay, so the captain of the ship admits.
Are you ready for the juke?
Wait, because the employees on the ship admit they heard that bitch pop Saturday when it was on its way down. Yeah. At like 45 minutes into the trip.
It came across the ticker Saturday. Noises are heard.
No, that was
banging. Underwater banging.
No, that was Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
Sunday, when they were searching for us, they were keeping us hopeful. They knew that thing
when it was on the way down.
They knew that thing 45 minutes into the trip.
Yeah, done.
45 minutes in.
Done.
They knew. The Navy knew.
Yeah. You can't tell me they didn't.
But the people on the ship admit, not the Navy with their used to be top secret things that they told us about, dumbasses. The Cold War era technology. It's wireless. That ain't Cold War era technology. Hush. But anyway.
Right.
But no, I get that. People on the ship admitted that 45 minutes down, 45 minutes in, they heard the popping and lost contact. They knew then that it was done. They knew that they reported.
So you know that the owner and CEO was on the Titan. Well, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
He was on the Titan.
Yeah.
You know that he also owns the Titan company is just one of his many companies. You don't become a billionaire by owning one company.
Right.
One of his other companies that he owns manufactures the chemical that spilled in Palestine, Ohio. You claim whatever conspiracy you want.
Well, I don't believe in coincidences. Keep going.
So that right there is a red flag to me. That's a red flag to me. You're about to be sued by thousands of residents. You've got $1 billion environmental disaster on your fucking hands. Suicide is not above my expectations for people who are weak-minded like that.
Yeah, but he's not going to take...
So,
I mean...
I'm not saying they did. I'm saying, it could be anything. It could be sabotage. It could be... I'm telling you, I'm right there with you. This motherfucker imploded 30 minutes after it left that fucking ship.
And for some reason, everybody
too fast, or because it was fucking Megalodon. This whole, I seen the Megalodon one. This whole fake search area bullshit by the Coast Guard, man. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all.
You knew that they stopped 45 minutes in. What's all this hubbub about? What are you trying to not talk about?
Something else was going on that they're covering up. Well, you pick one.
What do you think about the aliens in Vegas?
You pick one. There's 100 fucking things going on in this world that they're trying to cover up.
Dude, like you knew, so why did you drag this out?
Right, that's
why
the
did
thing.
you and make it such a big social media stink?
That's the thing.
You knew those people got squeezed out a watertight seal like toothpaste.
Done. And I'm 100% convinced it's a lack of maintenance.
They were like, somebody said, well, if you heard it pop, if they heard it pop, what was that tinging they were hearing? I said, probably a loose air hose on a piece of titanium in the waves.
Yeah. Probably the last fucking screams before that tuna can burst.
There wasn't no screams.
They were
That thing went so
oh
fast.
shit, we're about to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the air being squeezed out of your last fucking eyeball hole.
Somebody said fuh. Fuh's not a word, but that's all they got out. Fuh.
But then they made it out to be like they were running out of oxygen. Oh my god, they're gonna run out of oxygen.
Okay, now
These
first off,
motherfuckers been dead.
I'm sorry, but first off, if you ask me if I want to go down and see the Titanic, I'd say, right, is this a safe ship? Yes. As a matter of fact, I've been down to the Titanic 3 times in it. You know what? Okay, let's go. Okay, so we're going to get in here and they're going to bolt it closed from the outside. Now from there, even if it services, they have to come open it from the outside. We are in here. And we only get 23. Wait a minute. What did you just fucking say?
AKA, this is a cooked coffin.
Yeah, you're getting in here.
Bolted me the fuck in here. I got no hopes of getting out.
Nope. What happened? Did the teenager suddenly learn he was really violently claustrophobic?
And
30 minutes into the trip?
Let me say, I have shared and reshared multiple times now, I think, the whole meme that's going around right now. Now, I'm white, but I shared that shit. Explain to me why the fuck I want to see the Titanic. Now, if you're telling me you want to go scuba dive and explore this Spanish ship that's 100 feet underwater at the... Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All day. You're not bolting me in this fucking tuna can and expecting me to be okay with this.
Is there
Can you
like
control it with an Xbox controller?
a Cthulhu god in that area that we sacrifice people to every 100 years or so?
Yeah, I'm white. I don't give a fuck about that Titanic. That shit don't... What you gonna do when you get down there? You gonna look through a little hole like this. I got the same view on the
No. If you're shitting, you can look through that hole. Otherwise, you're just looking on a TV screen, and I can do that from here.
My window is this big.
Yours is this big. I don't. It's not.
Dude, Discovery Channel's made so many documentaries on the Titanic with unmanned rovers that look amazing.
Let's go. My Justin logic says, when I was in the Navy, I wasn't getting on a submarine. Submarines can only go half the depth of the Titanic. I damn sure fuck ain't getting in your civilian shit to go twice the depth that a military submarine can go. I ain't got no business. We ain't got no business down there. We don't even really know, other than the Titanic.
Who fuck?
Do you know how they found the Titanic? I didn't learn this till the other day.
They were looking for it.
No, they were not.
30 fucking years trying to find that.
No, they were not. They knew the Titanic. Okay, so they had. Let me go back. They knew the Titanic was in here.
Yeah.
So during the Cold War, they downed two Soviet subs in here. So in order to send all this hardware out there to find the 2 Soviet subs they had downed, they said, we're looking for the Titanic.
Yeah, we are.
Well, oddly enough, because, you know, when the government's really looking for something, they find it quick. Like, I guess, according to the lore, the way it went, they found them subs in, like, 48 hours. Like, they basically just drove to them and was like, there they are. Well, so they had extra time. So they went ahead and used the sonar and actually pinpointed the Titanic. And they brought it back. Right? They brought back the information and said, "Oh, we found the Titanic." They were looking for Cold War subs.
Look, only thing I could tell you is if I was born in that time period, I would literally just say, just a whole bunch of rich fucks.
No, it was not.
It was.
No, it was
Just-
not.
it
I was watching a documentary, man. Like, okay, there were a whole bunch of rich fucks. And there were a lot of, we always do, we look at the first class passengers because it was such a lavish ship.
But Titanic had first, second, and third class passengers.
Yes.
And your third class passengers,
Stayed in their rooms.
third class passengers were either workers on the ship. That's how they paid their way across the pond. They worked on the ship, or they snuck on. Most of your third class passengers were castaways. Is that what they're called? When you sneak onto a ship?
Castaway.
That doesn't sound right. Stowaway.
Stowaway.
So, yeah, stowaway.
Stowaway, castaways.
Castaways like, Wilson! Wilson! But yeah, just for the record,
Have you heard?
and now, look, I understand we don't have a lot of viewers. Well, it's all good. But let me be very fucking clear. I'm not getting in no fucking can and going on. I don't care what's under the water that much.
I won't even get on a sketchy bass boat, man.
Dude, you know what? I didn't really even enjoy snorkeling. And I was this far underwater.
I like to swim, but
Yeah.
not in places with fish bigger than me.
Nah. Yeah, I go to the beach and I will spend time in the water all day, but I promise you that shit is no more than my fucking hips. And sometimes the water will splash up on me because of the waves.
That place lives under different gods. I don't fuck around with the ocean. I seen things at sea. I seen things at sea that made me go, no,
Dude, it's something,
no.
you can attest to it, I'm sure. It's just something about getting the fuck out of West Virginia, breathing the salt air. It's not the ocean. It's the early morning sunrises with my coffee and a fat blunt. It's just a whole.
I agree. I 100%.
10% of my trip was playing in the ocean. Everything else was great. Just getting out of West Virginia, getting back to sea level. You know what I mean? It's nice.
See, I like to
It's
get.
nice to-
I don't have to get out of West Virginia. I just like to be able to go somewhere away from my stresses. Which, let's be honest, man. I mean, I live a fairly happy life. I got one or two stresses, and I'm cleaning them up as I go right now. I'll be free from a lot of that soon. But I'm the same way. But I can go out in my front yard barefooted and have my coffee and my blunt in the morning, and I'm the most content person in the world. I love to go somewhere to fish or somewhere to, but dude, like, to me, it's really not about going anywhere. It's just about taking my shoes off, grounding, being with the earth.
I get that if you're okay with that. I never wanted to be the person that was stuck somewhere. I want to see things. This country's beautiful.
It is.
I don't want to be.
I want
to live in West Virginia, but I don't want to be here all fucking year. I want to go see shit.
I do want to go on an adventure. I want to take a train. I want to take a train to, like, Colorado. Chuck Hall, a friend of mine, see him on Facebook. I went to high school with him. I don't know exactly what he's doing, but I guess he took a airplane to Seattle and then a cruise boat to Canada, and now he's backpacking, like, a trail that goes all the way across the country. Like, yeah, like, that's my shit. I like that.
Dude, I always thought it would be cool to have the resources to be able to do shit like that. And I promise you, if I was rich, I would do some shit like that.
Oh, all the time.
I would take
Still getting a fucking tuna can.
I would take a plane up to Maine in April and start my way down the Appalachian Trail. Because I don't need money. I can take my time. This is going to take me 8 months. This is an 8-month hike.
I would take an airplane up to Canada and rent a cabin and just fish.
Yeah, I want to get outside and do shit. Yeah, that sounds cool too, man. I don't want to be. West Virginia's cool. I like it, but I got to get out of here every once in a while.
Oh, you always got to just get away from everything.
I got to get out of West Virginia.
Yeah, get away.
It's important. That's why we go to Ohio a lot. Go to the beach quite often. Promise you, man. You go to Destin, Florida, you'll never go to another beach again.
Really?
It's beautiful, bro. The water. I can't even. You don't even have anything in like right there. That bottle. See how clear that bottle is? That's how clear the water is.
That's how the Virgin Islands are too.
Dude, it's fucking gorgeous, man.
Dude.
Like,
dude. You can see the fish swimming down there, dude.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
beautiful.
like,
I want to go to, yeah, I don't. She wants to go to a beach, and I want to take her, but I want to go up to Chesapeake Bay. Like, if I go to a beach, I want to go somewhere like that. Like, I like history. You got to take me somewhere with a lot of history.
Bro, you gotta go here. I'm telling you, scroll through some of those pictures, bro. I'm telling you, white sand, blue water. It's Florida. So it's all super conservative. Like, they don't give a fuck about none of these rules. And, like, it's fucking beautiful, man. It's fucking gorgeous. Look at that white sand. That shit was, I mean, it is so nice in Florida, dude.
It's amazing.
So nice. Everything's cheap.
Is it?
Yeah. There's no state sales tax. There's no state sales tax. And there's no state income tax. When you move there and start working there, you don't pay income tax. They make all their money on tourism.
Oh, wow.
It's fucking great. So, like, you go down there and you'll pull across the Florida line because to get to Destin, you got to go down through Kentucky and out Tennessee and Alabama.
So it's out by Pensacola.
Yeah, right next to Pensacola.
Okay.
It's on the Gulf side.
Did you see jets?
All day.
All day. Blue Angels randomly fly over.
That's way down there. Apparently, the Air Force Base is way down there. Destin is, on the Panhandle, of course, but Pensacola has Panama City, and then the Air Force Base is still.
No, Pensacola has 2 naval air stations.
Okay, so it is Pensacola.
Yes, that's where the Blue Angels are.
Gotcha,
dude. When I was in A school, Blue Angels would knock me down. Like, they fly between the buildings so low.
Yeah, Destin is like 80 miles from Pensacola or something. That's cool. So the planes are flying over, but they're not really, because there's so much tourism, air tourism. There's helicopters and planes and like the fighter jets. Right. Typically, they don't come around Destin that much.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's because it's some kind of restricted airspace with all the civilian shit that's up there. Maybe, I don't know.
Probably.
But you could hear them off in the distance, but they never flew over Destin. But dude, I had so much fun, and it was great, dude. Like, get up real early in the morning and like go out, and they have a fucking fisherman's parade every morning, like at sun. There's a rule in Destin, maybe in the state of Florida, like you're not allowed to leave your port until the first rays pop up over the horizon. Like, I guess it's something before daybreak. I don't know what it's called. I heard it one time. It's something before daybreak.
First light?
Maybe.
First light?
But it's just barely. Yeah. Anyway, right when the sun comes up over the horizon, that's when the boats can go out. You can stay out as late as you fucking want. But if you're in port, you can't go out until first light. So every morning at 6 a.m., sometimes 5:45, depending on when the light was coming over the horizon, I'd get up in the morning, go down to the convenience store, grab me a cup of coffee, grab my chair, go down and sit on the beach, and just watch hundreds of fucking fishing vessels. Everybody's like, wah, wah, LED lights, like everybody's like cheering them on and shit. Destin's like a huge fishing village. That's how it was formed.
Oh,
back
wow.
in the 1800s. It was a fishing village.
Sounds so cool, but I don't like
And they still keep it to that Dude, I'm telling you, there was parts.
I love heritage, man. And
parts of my trip.
yeah.
I really felt like I was in parts of Black Flag or something. You know what I mean? Watching the boats go out.
See, that's why I want to go up to like Chesapeake Bay. They got all the pirate ships up there.
Yeah, Chesapeake Bay is super cool. You'll have a lot of fun there, but the scenery with the water and the sand, it's just not as inviting. Because that Atlantic Ocean water is brown. Their Atlantic Ocean sand is brown. You know what I mean? It just doesn't seem so inviting. You get on the Gulf of Mexico side,
Oh, yeah.
that shit is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
That shit is
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah.
And I loved I mean, I didn't want to come home.
I mean, if you can ever, it's, I want to say you should go check out the Virgin Islands, man, but tourism abroad is...
I want to go to the Keys.
Look, tourism abroad, use your street smarts at all times.
Telling you, on my bucket list, I'm gonna take a picture at mile marker number 1 on I-95. It's the southernmost part of Key West. You can't get any more southern in the United States. That's a bucket list. Did you know that? Exit number 1.
Right.
In the Key West, I-95.
West.
Yeah, and like exit whatever it is in Maine. Because I-95 goes all the way up the East Coast. So I was like, fuck, that's cool.
It is.
Cool shit.
It is.
Go down there and get, the original Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville is down there in the Keys.
Right.
Whole bunch of Beach Boys themed shit. I think the Keys would be cool.
I thought you always think the Beach Boys are from California.
But they have that song, to Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama, to Key Largo, Montego.
Oh, shit.
That's
okay.
the song about the Keys.
Oh, shit. Okay. Kokomo.
We'll get there fast.
Yeah.
We'll take it slow.
I'm going to be jamming Beach Boys tomorrow morning.
Hell yeah.
You just did that. Yeah. I got to leave at 3 a.m.
Oh, shit. Where you
Turn
gotta
on
go?
some Beach Boys. Taze Valley.
Oh,
I got
early pickup.
a 4:30 dialysis run.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, I got pulled over the other day. No, wait.
In the cab?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's unheard of.
Hold up. Hold up. This is yeah, I'm in the cab. And I'm going, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what? Let's be fair. Devil's advocate. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm ass tired. And when that van's empty, it bounces everywhere. Because it's built to carry like a 1,000-pound motorized wheelchair with a very, very, very
300-pound
heavy
person
person.
on it.
Yeah, that's friendly.
Yeah, I'm being nice.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? Most people aren't that large, but some are. And my van's designed to handle that. So when it's empty, man, it's light. You know what I mean?
It bounces.
Yeah.
You hit a bump, your ass can scoot around and shit.
Just slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you drive that van. Like Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah. But anyway, I'm coming down the interstate. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. There are 2 patrol cars with their flashing lights. Well, that's also a light bar. Right? They got 2 of those light bars shining into oncoming traffic, lighting up the interstate. And when I went by, I did this, because that's a lot of damn candle power. Well, they pull out. And they followed me from, I'm a conspiracy theorist, so They followed me from behind another car for a solid mile, all the way down to Westmoreland. And then they hit their lights and pulled me over at Westmoreland. He's like, what are you doing out this time of night? Yeah. I thought exactly. You don't even have to say it. I don't know if anybody else has logic. I'm a cab driver. It's
What are you doing
3
out
o'clock in
this
the
time of
morning.
night? I think we're both fucking working, homie.
But anyway, I was like, I looked at him and told him, I was like, I got a little old lady I take to dialysis in Taze Valley at 4:30. He said, oh. You got your license and paperwork? And I gave him my driver's license. I gave him my paperwork. My license is clean, baby. And he brings it back, and he was like, so you take people to dialysis? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, how often you do that? And I was like, it's my job. It's what I do every day. I mean, I didn't get into the whole, it was 3 a.m. Did I tell him I take people to podiatrists and dentists and weight loss clinics and physical therapy and, I mean, you know, cancer centers and everything, anywhere. But I do a lot of dialysis runs. And he's like, well, how often do you do dialysis runs? Like, pretty much every day. And he's like, oh. Kind of put his head down, like, he learned, like, I think, like...
Oh, no, he really wanted to give you a ticket. And you just gave him a great story, and now he's torn between being an asshole and he understands because grandma was on dialysis.
Yeah.
What is the fucking story? I'm telling you, you had any other story, you're
told
getting a
me,
fucking ticket.
wait. I was doing
Something.
65 because I don't speed. It's 3 a.m., dude. You know how I drive it.
70 there.
I know. I was doing 65. He said I crossed the white line a couple times. I'm like...
Bet I did.
He said, it looked like you were on your phone. And I'm like, I got this tablet in here all the time. It's on. And he was like, oh. But he really, they for some reason thought they were going to pull the wheelchair van over and got writing 5 tickets. And I don't know why.
That's crazy.
It's almost like they were out to get me for a second, and then was like, shit.
Yeah. If you just said I got a 4:30 pickup at the fucking airport, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we're gonna go write this guy some tickets.
Right.
Fuck him.
Right. I take people to dialysis for a living, dude. That's what I do all day.
See, nowadays, I guess it's everybody gets their day in court now, so
Man, you know what? At what point
I'm
are
not
we...
just gonna pay a fine anymore. I'm done doing that shit. You pull me over for speeding, cool. Show me the radar in court, and I'm gonna pay my fine. I'm not just gonna pay it. I don't care how guilty I think I am.
Right.
I'll take that shit all the way to trial.
Right.
Show me the evidence.
Yeah.
Because your word don't mean shit anymore to me.
Man.
They'll pull you over for anything, and they'll make shit up. Fuck that.
Yeah, the make shit up part.
Yep. That shit's
Is what bothers me, man.
And you know what else? It kills me because
you should be
make
able to...
rules. You get one, and I'm not saying it's one. I'm saying to scale. It might be 1,000. It might be 5,000. I don't care what number you put on it.
Right.
Anyway, how many people drink alcohol? Millions. The millions of people drink alcohol. Out of those millions of people, you might have 1,000 people that get too fucking drunk and go out here and cause bodily injury.
You know what?
But you got all these laws against drinking and driving. But if one cop goes out here and kills somebody unjustifiable, they're like, oh, you can't let one bad apple ruin the whole blunt. No, fuck y'all.
Right.
Y'all keep making the rules that says one bad apple makes all of us bad.
Right.
If the same rule applies,
That's fair. No, like, and
I don't give a fuck. Cops are bunched into one group just like citizens.
well, that's the problem.
Period. The end.
Like,
Like that's just how I feel about it. Fuck that.
quit treating every citizen like a threat.
Right.
I understand your point of view. Look, I'm a cab driver.
Dude, you go to Britain. Britain don't have no ghost
Like,
decals on their cars. They're all bright neon because those policemen are actually here to serve the public.
dude,
Not to fucking hunt us like you're camouflaged with your ghost decals. Man, I hate that shit.
man, I was getting on the interstate one morning. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I looked down and realized I didn't do any of my paperwork. So I was about to hit my blinker and pull off the interstate. Now, mind you, there's not a car in front of me, no cars behind me. It's nothing around. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Ain't nobody but me out here. And I didn't pull over because right as I started to pull over, I saw what looked like reflectors. you know. So I just kind of kept driving. I wasn't going fast. I was getting on the on-ramp. I hadn't started speeding up yet. And there's a cop car sitting there in the pitch fucking black on the side of the road. If I was just started pulling over, I'd have hit him.
Wow. Camped out.
Like, yeah, why you gotta be sneaky?
And it's county deputy, too. Most of the time, it's county deputy.
Every time.
The deputies are supposed to be the ones that really answer calls for the public, not write tickets. They answer 911 calls in their district.
I'm not gonna go deep, but people are not happy with them around here.
No.
If
I ever get pulled over by a Kanawha County deputy for a traffic offense, I'm taking that all the way to the fucking Supreme Court. But like, bitch, that's not your job. That's not your job. Kanawha County deputies are sworn in by an elected official. You're not just like regular police. You shouldn't be able to come out here and just ticket motherfuckers just to raise funds because you're fucking over budget.
Right.
That's all ticketing is. You're a revenue creator, aka extortion.
Well, yeah, especially when you understand that, like, I forget what they call them. They're not called quotas, and it doesn't work just like the quota system.
But it basically
are. Yeah, there are systems in place that demand that they
tell me there's not.
do turn out so many traffic tickets because it shows that you are functionally patrolling your areas.
Dude, it doesn't.
Or something like that.
It doesn't
like
even surprise me.
Funny way they put it in there.
Yeah, it doesn't even surprise me if they look at it and say, okay, so for the month of June, we are about $10,000 short on our budget, you know, because we had this event or that event or this, that, and the third. We need to come up with $10,000 in the next month. Hey, Chief, I'm gonna need you to help us out, buddy. Maybe it's not a quota. Maybe the mayor just like, yo, Chief, I need an extra 10 stacks this month. You think you can help me out, buddy?
I mean, yeah, a couple
got you,
GI
bro.
checkpoints. We'll take care of that.
I got you.
But here's something I learned. Here's something I learned a while back,
you.
and that's judges. Now, the family court part is the one that kind of struck me deep. But then I read the whole paragraph, and I was like, "What?" So. Judges' retirements come from the funding of the things collected through the court system.
Sure.
This
How long's the
includes
bench that you got a speeding ticket?
this includes houses.
Yeah.
This includes child support. This includes like everything. A speeding ticket, a long time, man. I drive like a fucking grandpa, dude.
Okay, so
You'll get me for a lot of things.
the last ticket that I paid was simple possession. Okay, it's $100 fine, no court cost, no jail time. This was 5-6 years ago. Not a problem.
Right.
Went in, pled guilty to it, paid the $100 fine. Not a big deal. Walking out of the courtroom, I get my receipt. They give you a piece of paper basically saying that you paid your fine and blah, blah, blah. It turns out that out of that $100 fine, they break it down. $15 fine. $15 regional jail fund. $15 sheriff's office fund, $15 court
To $15
appointed
ticket.
something retirement fund. You're paying. Look, bro, the fine is $15. You have $85 in fees and shit that you're paying into. Like, I paid a $15 fee to the regional jail and didn't step one foot on that fucking hill.
They got to get privately owned corporation.
Yeah, of course. It's all about that. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's extortion.
Yeah.
That's extortion. You look up the exact definition of extortion. It'll tell you this is extortion.
Who owns the regional jail at South Ridge in South Charleston, West Virginia?
I'm sure you're going to get some state agency, but it's privately owned.
Oh, I guarantee you.
You probably won't find that answer. It wouldn't surprise me if you don't find that answer.
Let's see here.
It's ran by the West Virginia State Rehabilitation
Correction.
You're not gonna find out who owns it. You might keep searching. You might, but I don't know, man.
What company owns the South Regional Jail in Kanawha County, West Virginia? Doo-doo-doo. No, they're pretty touchy about that question now.
Can't tell you, man.
See, but they will say
That it's ran and managed by the state of West Virginia
a
Department.
total of 27 states and the federal government use private corporations like GEO Group, Core Civic Squared, got a little 2 next to it, LaSalle Corrections, and Management and Training Corporations to run some or all their corrections. I dug 4 pages deep to get to that. A total of 27 states.
And you know West Virginia's one of them because we're a fucking federal lapdog.
Oh, yeah.
We do what the government tells us to do. That's why we have so many DUI checkpoints.
Let me keep looking.
When the federal government gives you money to do DUI checkpoints, you fucking do it.
Right. Florida, a couple states mentioned here. Florida has the highest number of prisoners. Tennessee, Arizona, and Georgia have private. Texas, Tennessee, Arizona, and Georgia have private ran prisons. But you're still not getting all the answers. They're prancing around it. Which, I mean, somebody did a thing the other day. We'll cut it off here in a couple minutes. About do the private prison corporations invest in the music industry to have producers use their artists to pump out music glorifying crime?
Yeah. And that's why hip hop sucks anymore.
Oh, dude.
Because like people are rapping about crimes that they've never committed. They're creating studio gangsters, and none of them are fucking real gangsters.
No.
That's the reason why their music sucks, because they don't really relate to the streets the way our artists did in the 90s and early 2000s.
No,
it is what it is. Like you can't point to one hip hop star today that has any connection to the street. Some of them might be born in the ghetto or whatever. But
I grew up listening to Slayer and King Diamond. And I mean, back in the day, I used to listen to some heavy metal. Some dark heavy metal. And rap music today is too satanic for me.
It's not rap music. It's all music.
The hip.
The Video Music Awards is so satanic, it's unreal. Like, you can go watch a fucking video on TikTok. Damn, what was his name? Shit, what's the dude's name that played in the Fast and Furious movies? The black dude.
Oh, yeah.
He made music.
Yeah,
Tyrese. Dude, there's a video on TikTok of him laying it down. He's like, fuck today's music industry.
Have you been listening to Mel Gibson lately?
No, I saw it on TikTok and I scrolled past it.
Stop on it. Like, let that man rant.
But dude, I watched enough of other people that I don't need any more crazy.
Go home and watch Nefarious. I will pay for your
Oh, yeah, you told me about that. What is that about? Because I'm probably not going to subscribe to Amazon Prime just to watch that shit.
Okay. Now,
if you know anything about Amazon Prime, you got to pull a tooth just to unsubscribe from that shit.
So I know, but I use it daily. So It's
if you
part of my
shop
life.
every day, if you have shit delivered once or twice a week, it's worth it.
Well, I have shit delivered once a month on average, and that little shit. Look, man, if I go to Sam's and buy a 24 pack of batteries, it's gonna be $30, right? You can get on Amazon, and you can get a 24 pack of decent batteries for $14.99 and have them delivered to your house.
Yeah, true.
And I mean, like, they'll come in your mailbox.
And that's exactly the reason why brick and mortar places are going to cease to exist. Maybe not in our lifetime.
It's not. Well, it's not
like
the.
it's just not, because that's what really
It's not at all to me the convenience of the shipping. It's the options of the lower priced items.
It has nothing to do with the lower price. For you, it's all about not having to interact with those crazy people out there.
No, it's about the lower price. Dude, okay,
fuck
my blunt
Walmart.
tubes.
You can't pay me to go to Walmart.
My blunt
I will
tube.
pay more to go to Target, because I hate the people at Walmart. Like, what the fuck? You got one fucking cashier, and this bitch don't know what she's doing.
It's because she's not an employee. She's
But
just
you know
trying to
what?
buy her groceries.
Target has fucking 4 employees at the registers, and they got a couple self-service things too. I get it.
Dude. I mean, I get on Amazon, and I went to buy blunt tubes, and I meant to buy like the 20 pack. Yeah, I end up with a 100 pack for the same price. Like no,
You're like fucking Oprah to the blunt tube.
and I tell you what,
You get a blunt tube, and you get a blunt tube.
and I found a button on Amazon that's dangerous.
Oh shit.
Used,
Oh yeah, don't do that. I did that. Yeah, don't do that.
dude.
And you know what else is dangerous?
I mean, yeah, it's $40, but they got one like new for
What's the-
$29.
What is it? The box deals, the Amazon box deals. I think it's at the bottom. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's labeled, bro. You go on there, and they got like a box, whatever the dimensions are on the box, and you don't know what the fuck's in it. Might be $75.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. I don't.
$75.
I'm not even
full
tempted
of shit
by
that
that.
you don't even know what it is.
I'm not even
I'm like, I
tempted by
can't
that.
do this. This gives me anxiety just knowing that somebody can buy a box with miscellaneous shit that you. But when you return stuff to Amazon, sometimes by the time it gets through shipping, they can't resell it.
Right,
So they'll just damn near give it away.
right.
Sometimes you find some good shit in those boxes. That's
had-
where it comes to fucking yard sales and flea markets.
I had some shit it didn't come, and my neighbors saw it and took it home with them, so it didn't get picked up by, somebody walking by. So, because UPS, man, everybody's afraid of my dogs, which is good. That's fine. So, like 2 days later, I found out I got a package at the neighbor's house, and by the end, the other package came. Like they had sent me a replacement. So I call them and I'm like, hey, I'm about to send this back. Oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Now I got 2.
Yeah, so I mean, now I got more legs. Hang on a sec. Somebody at my door. Anyway, man, it's almost 8:30.
Yeah.
Let's shut it down. Yeah, good talks this week.
Yep. Still a lot of shit to cover. that
Oh
we
my
never
God,
get
but there's
to.
stuff unfolding though. I'm really, with a lot of the issues going on, man. I'm waiting for things to unfold before.
Yeah. I get it, but I just don't have any faith in this fucking shit anymore, man. I just like.
It's not about faith. It's just Earth, the final season. I'm interested to see how it ends.
Yeah, no, but I used to go and get up early and do my normal routine and never have to worry about nothing. Like, but now this year going to a voting booth, I'm gonna have questions in the back of my mind. It's like, does this even matter?
I don't have anything I can say about it. Like, I keep avoiding that conversation because I don't have anything I can say to that won't possibly get like a 3-letter agency kicking down my front door at 3 a.m. because I really don't feel like I feel like we passed the point where a ballot box is going to fix it. That's all I'm saying. I don't know we're going to vote our way out of this. I don't just mean the atrocities of what's going on with the current government. I mean, we look weak. They're like, you know, dude, Bermuda's looking at us like, you know, we could just go take them, right?
Dude, it's like, it's all of it. It's the, you know, every FBI, IRS.
Oh my God.
It feels like we're being taken over. This country's being taken over by our own government.
Is it subversion?
Like, what is that?
See, I've tried to do an episode on this guy 3 times, and we keep getting off subject.
That's what we do.
Yeah, I know.
We can't
What makes
do
us
it.
great. But anyway,
Maybe, but that might be also why we don't have any viewers.
ADD
We are some
channel.
80s. Oh shit, there's a squirrel.
Squirrels.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
That's what happens. That's what
You
rednecks
were
do.
like, I really was into that other subject. Fucking squirrels. Like, that's what we do.
It's what we do. Keep up.
We will circle back. No, maybe
Bro,
we won't. Maybe
before
we
this
won't.
is over, Zelensky will be the squirrel.
At the end of the day, we'll leave you with a whole bunch of questions, so you have to tune in next week. Because that's what we do.
I mean, what'll happen this week? What's Putin going to blow up? Like,
No. Not
Nothing.
even.
Nothing
We didn't
in the
even
board
touch on that
anymore.
subject. We didn't even touch on that subject.
Which one?
The
The
number
ban?
one. No. The number one. The only reason why Putin's winning anything militarily is like there's a mutiny in the Wagner group that they were earlier this week. They were marching on Moscow, and apparently the Wagner group with the leader of that group is Porchenko or whatever his name is. They're telling him he has to leave Russia because he tried to a mutiny, or I don't know the whole story.
okay,
But anyway, they gave him asylum to Belarus. And so
because-
now the biggest part, the most lethal part of Putin's military is gone.
I haven't read anything about this on a deep subject, but I've skimmed it. And here's my 5-minute take, like, you know, my 5-minute intake, like at first glance. The Wagner Group.
Wagner Group.
Son,
You spell it with a W, but you say
bring me the oozes, man. But anyway, the Wagner Group, they're mercenaries, dude.
yeah, like there's like 2,700.
So, what are the odds? What are the odds? They're mercenaries. What do mercenaries do?
They kill. They get paid
They kill for.
money.
So what are the odds that the American CIA came in and said,
They
"Hey,
did.
man,
They did. They already said that they think the CIA was already involved in this
pay him.
mutiny.
Hey, Sven, you want a couple $1 million?" Yeah.
That's how Russians talk. But either way, yeah, it's good. It's
It's
funny.
the Wagner Group. Oons, oons.
Those are like the dudes they had on what was that fucking Beer Fest? Remember that the movie Beer Fest? Das Boot.
Oons, 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 oons. But no, that's what happened there. See, again, like again, you know, with all my family problems, I relate to Putin a lot. Like, he's just really like trying to live his best life, and these motherfuckers are like, "I'm not touching you."
I'm not touching you.
Hey, Putin, you got a little lint on your, like, they're fucking with him.
Yep.
Fucking with him. And they've been doing this since, look, man, they've been doing
And
this
look,
since
we
he
all
said,
know. Well, at least we both know that the military-industrial complex is a monster fucking like lobby firm. Like, you have to create wars.
this
You
is,
just have to.
but they're not good at hiding it anymore.
No,
They
they're
used
not.
to, look, they used to be able to convince us that motherfuckers need to die. And now they're just like, you need to support Ukraine. And even liberals are like,
Eh,
why?
what? Really? They're fucking Nazis, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, they're literal Nazis. Literally. Why are we supporting Ukraine?
Why isn't Europe supporting them?
Like,
You do you.
right.
But either
Why are we giving that?
we didn't touch on a lot of shit, but
You know what? It was just good to do an episode and blow some steam, man.
It was. You got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I think when you get up, it's going to be piss pouring the rain, too.
That's
just
fine.
Overnight thunderstorms. So
that's fine.
Dude, for me, there's nothing better than getting up in the morning and drinking coffee on the porch to a morning thunderstorm. I feel like it's like great for me.
I'll get in the car, turn on some doors, riders in the storm.
Yeah, there you go. And drive to Taze Valley.
Drive to Taze Valley, nice and
around.
Nice and slow.
All right, buddy. Well, till
all right, man. Yeah, man. Like I said, there's a lot of issues that I want to touch on. But really, man, I was like skimming YouTube, looking at the latest videos from today, and I was like, everything's at a pivot point right now. There's a lot of things we haven't discussed, but
there's a lot of things that those discussions that we're not having still have a lot of chapters left in the story.
Yeah, well, it's going to unfold, I feel like, in the next 7 days. Like, I feel like this week's going to be an interesting week.
I just hope that James Comer or whatever it is, he says he's got the bombshell proof on Biden's bank documents, you know what I mean? But
the fucking whistleblower just died.
I was gonna say, but you remember when Adam Schiff had fucking a whistleblower that he just claimed he had the bombshell.
Well, here's the difference. Here's the difference. Yeah, but you know what? He had that whistleblower that was a nothing burger, but the FBI whistleblowers, on the other hand, have actually sat in front of Congress.
Yeah,
and fucking
which that only entails on the goings-ons of the FBI, and as long as fucking Biden's in charge, you ain't never gonna get no results.
Well, they need to, you know, they shouldn't impeach Biden. They should start taking it apart from below. Impeach Merrick Garland.
No, yeah, don't impeach
anybody.
Comer. Don't impeach anybody. You can't successfully There's no, like, dude, you name me one, I know we need to try to end this.
Oh, yeah.
You name me one prosecutor that's going to say, I'm going to prosecute for this crime. I know I can't get a conviction, but I'm going to prosecute anyway. They don't do it. There's no point in wasting time and money on an impeachment if you don't have the majority in the Senate. You can't get a conviction in the Senate. Right. Impeachments are a waste of fucking money.
Right, you're right.
There's no point in impeaching him.
You're right.
No, you spend the next 2 years, it's not even 2 years now, thank God, but you spend the next year and a half investigate. And before 2024's presidential election, October, September, August, right before the presidential election, you drop all these fucking nuggets. And you make sure the public knows that Joe Biden is a corrupt piece of shit. And his whole family has been getting millions from the Chinese government.
I don't know if you've been watching like the press conferences, but it's getting sporty. Like even like
they've been trying. They sent a WhatsApp message to Hunter Biden saying he was sitting there next with his dad and blah blah blah. Like all that shit.
Well, there was a voicemail of him scared, going, "Dad, listen. We just took all this money from these people, and we do not have the CCP under control. They've got stuff on us, Dad." Like, it's a voicemail, like, so, like, dude, I mean, but the thing is, like, how much, like, okay. I got an angry Wolverine in my house. You know what I mean? I've managed to get it locked in a room. It's totally destroying this fucking room. It's a Wolverine. You're not going to catch it. You're not going to relocate this motherfucker.
No, you're going to shoot this bitch.
How much damage am I going to let it do to that room before I open the door and shoot that motherfucker?
Not much.
Like, you know, like, I don't mean that as a, like, you know, you can't, you have to put a stop to the damages.
Yep.
You know, what are the routes which can cancel an executive order? The FBI was made from
court.
The FBI was canceled by an was created through an executive order.
You have to challenge it in court. You remember when Donald Trump was like, he banned like Muslims from certain countries with the fucking pandemic and shit. He started banning, or whatever it was, started banning motherfuckers. They went through the Supreme Court. Turned out that was unconstitutional. You can't do that. But he did it, at least for a while. So,
right.
I mean, it's the only thing that can go over an executive order is definitely fucking Supreme Court. That's a check. That's the check on the executive branch.
So,
you know, the judicial system has checks on the executive branch.
Right.
Just like the legislative branch has a check on the executive branch.
So before we shut down, did you see my short this week?
I did not. I have not been on there very much. I did not, but I will check that out.
I'm really, really happy we can still stream. Because I did it, then I was like, oh.
I will watch it though. I'm certainly watching it. But before we leave, I'm gonna leave anybody that watches this with something on their brain until next week. See about the FDA.
Meat?
Lab grown meat?
Now here's my question that I haven't had a chance to look up and look into. Does it have to be labeled lab grown?
Yeah, it should, right? Why not?
Should. Your FDA's sketchy, dude.
I mean,
We do things in America that French people are
bro,
like.
I'm telling you, if our labels on hamburger have to tell you that it's 80% beef and 20% fat, motherfucker, you better tell me if this shit was grown in the lab. And I promise you, if my grocery store starts strictly carrying that shit, it'll be the last time I ever.
Go to Aldi.
That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna. No way.
I mean, you might get horse,
I don't care what it
but
is.
it's horse.
Not. It's better be an animal.
Motherfucker neighed.
What up?
The motherfucker neighed before it died.
He did.
It's a horse.
He did. Don't feed me that shit.
All right, man. It's been great.
Yep. Till next week.
Till next week, everybody.
Later.